All right, you lie.
All right, greetings. I always gotta greet my Instagram folks. They be helping me out because I sell products, so most of my products are sold from Instagram.
Hmm.
So today we're gonna be talking on my favorite subject. When I talk on my favorite subject, I love it more than anybody that's hearing it, and that's spirit.
Amen.
Because I feel, I'm not even gonna say I feel, I know that when we allow ourselves to be our spirit part, our energetic part, that part of us that's connected to everything, this physical body have to fall in line with that. Because this physical body can't even exist without that. Yet that can exist without this physical body. But what happens with us is that we put more energy into this part of our existence than we do, you can say, the major part of your existence. And I say major part because we have two bodies. We have this physical body and we have an energy body. A lot of people, when they talk about their physical and their energy body, they always go to spirit and religion. And yes, that's just a term for it, a spirit, but it's energy. And energy is conscious. Like that tree is energy. That tree is conscious. It's stationary to our naked eye. But that tree is moving, man.
Mm-hmm.
That tree touches us. We ain't got to just touch it. But those are the little things that we fail to, you can say, grasp in our desire to be part of a society that have totally negated that whole part of our existence. And I can say that with assurance because I watch the way that we go about trying to fix the problems that we have. What do? We create organizations and we march around with signs. That ain't changed nothing from the time they started it to now. It have not changed anything. If I'm lying, please speak up. Because I've been watching, hoping, and ain't nothing changed. And we still doing the same thing. What's wrong with us? Why do we think that? Because we're not paying attention to the essential part of ourself, and that's the spirit. The part of ourself that can transcend these physical boundaries. We physical, we in this physical body, but we're not limited to this. And I know we all have our ideas about what that is or what spirit is or how do you do that. But that's why we're sitting here right now, because we're going to talk about the steps that we can take in this physical body to get more familiar with our energy body. Because like I say, we have two bodies. The ancients used to say we have three attentions. We have our first attention, which is this, what we're dealing with right now. I'm dealing with y'all from my first attention. We have our second attention, which they refer to as the dream attention. Your dreams are not just things that you imagine in your head. Your dreams is actually your energetic body going out of your body and operating. But because we take the totality of all of our consciousness and put into this first attention, there ain't no more energy left for the second attention. So whatever it's doing, and it's you, whatever you doing over on that side, you're totally unaware of it. Why? Because you don't give no energy to that. We was not taught to give energy to that. We was taught to give energy to everything we can touch, feel, smell, and taste. And that's what the totality of our energy goes. And you can know it because all people talk about is what they want, what they need, why they can't. But when you start understanding that ain't about me, my, I, because you know you have everything you need in this life to do whatever you need to do. Nobody have nothing more than nobody else. That's a fact. We perceive ourselves differently because of the jobs that we may do, or because of the projection we may put out there. But it's all a movie. And being that it's all a movie, I think it's time for us as individuals to be the star of our own show and quit being the supporting role, or what you would call the supporting actor in your own life, because we let everybody tell us what we need to do, how we need to do it, where we need to go. We let them do that. Oh, well, you know, I talked to a couple of my friends. They're saying I shouldn't do that because of this, and this. They said that it's dangerous. They heard that this, and we live our lives according to bullshit that don't have nothing to do with us. Because when the Spirit speaks to you, it's not speaking to the one next to you. It's not speaking to your mama. It's not speaking to it's speaking to you. And the only time the Spirit uses something outside of you to get to your attention is because you ain't listening. When you listening, you don't need nobody to come and tell you a damn thing. Because you know you are where you need to be and you are doing exactly what you need to do. How do you get there? First step is recognizing that there's some other place you got to get within yourself, that you're not there. That's the first step. When we recognize that we ain't the good individual or nice or whatever, however you view your goddamn self, that we're not that. We're everything. We're every expression that can be expressed in this human form. We are that. And yet we limit ourselves to little things and go, that's just the way that I am. Some people do it with food. I'm a vegan. I can't. Ooh, you got meat in here. I gotta go. And they want to leave out because they said that is ludicrous. When they was eating meat 2 years ago, the smell didn't kill them then. The smell ain't gonna kill them now. But that's how we begin to acclimate ourselves to things that we think most of the time is faddish. And we get attention like that. That is insane. That's a waste of energy. We don't have energy to waste for real. Because unless you're able to, you know, like I was talking to my buddy today who's like, you know, we was talking about my mother. So, y'all met my mother. You did too. My mother got knee problems. Her knees. And I've been told my mother a long time ago, hey, you need to lose weight. That's messing your knees up. And then her fear of dead people caused her to do something that was totally out of her character, that she went into a friend of hers house, and she probably want to kick my ass for telling this story, but I'm telling it anyway. She went into a friend of hers house, walked in there, and saw the lady was dead. Look, she didn't bother to walk to the second, walk down the first flight so that she could walk down the next. She jumped, shoo, and landed on the, and then, and all that weight, oh, she did serious damage to her knees, and she's suffering from it today. She don't have to. She don't have to. Like everybody else, it's hard for us to break the routines that we give ourselves.
That's true.
We give ourselves these routines, and we give ourselves these routines and make ourselves believe that these things are legitimate because we find legitimacy in them ourselves. So then we get our friends to find legitimacy in them too, and we go, yes, I know I'm doing right. You ain't doing shit right. When you're doing something right, you don't need nobody's approval. Matter of fact, most of the time you're going to get their disapproval. Because they're going to be like, wow, what's going on with you? All of a sudden, they want to start picking at you. Why? Because by nature, the human-based behavior, haters. All haters. We don't want to see nobody doing better than us. We want to always be the main. Hey, I don't care who you are. And our ancestors say what we were suffering from was being stuck in a place called self-reflection, where you can't reflect on nothing but yourself. Even though you saying, oh, I'm giving to this one, I'm sharing this. No. You do that, even in our giving, it's for our own self. So you can go and say, oh man, I helped them, I gave them $500 when they needed it. Why are you telling anybody that?
Right.
Because the universe is going to reward you. But when you go open your big ass mouth, you done got your reward. Because after the reward you was looking for, acceptance. That's a waste of energy again. A waste of energy and money. So, you can see where we get these wasteful habits from. It's from our idea of what we think other folks think about us when you're not looking at who you are. Hey man, we all great. I'm going to say that. We are all great. Any imperfections that you have inside of yourself is because you created them. That's why I love talking about the spirit, because it gets down to the crux of everything. It don't leave out nothing. And when we align ourselves with the understanding that we have everything that we need to get to wherever we're trying to get to, then we'll all be living better lives. Why? Because you're going to be doing what you're supposed to do. She's going to be doing what she's supposed to do. He's going to be doing what he's supposed to do. I'm going to be doing what I'm supposed to do. What that makes for a beautiful ass environment. Because the spirit is about all this. And all that in the cities, it's about all of it. But then you got to ask yourself, what part of it is going to be beneficial and what part of it is detrimental? Because a lot of things that we create is detrimental. Why? Because there's two poles to everything. We live in this physical realm. In this physical realm, it dictates that you have a positive pole and a negative pole. And what we have to do is find that balance when we're not operating in no negative space and not always in a positive space. Finding a neutral space where you can observe both and choose the one that's most beneficial to you in that moment, because we make all these dichotomies. We make all these things we say it's good and it's bad, this is evil, that's all, and we make that shit up. If we don't realize that we make that shit up, then what I'm saying shouldn't mean shit to you. Because we create the shit that we live in. Most of the time we do not want to accept that. But that is the facts. So, what we do? We got to start looking at ourselves for real. That's where it starts. You saying to your own damn self, hey, I want to be the best me that I can be, and you that you looking at in that mirror, you are my biggest damn enemy. So then what you have to do, when you want to change, you have to start acting out of that change. So when somebody say something to you, and normally you would fly off the handle, you just put the brakes on. That ain't easy when shit happens. But that's necessary.
That's not easy.
You have professors at teaching universities, and they teach psychology, and they teach this beautiful ass way to live. And they go out of their classroom and live just like everybody else. What the hell is the problem? Routine is the damn problem. They don't realize that the routine that they have ain't no different than the routine that all their students have. They can. Samoa said something last night. You guys need to check her out, man. She lit that damn stage up. Samoa, y'all know the comedian?
The comedian's one. Okay, yeah.
Oh, man, y'all need to look at that.
Okay.
It was good.
Okay.
And it's her latest special.
The latest special.
Hey, man.
Okay.
Good.
She lit it up.
Really?
It's good.
But she has said, you know, that it's not just acquiring knowledge that helps you. She said at a certain point, that knowledge becomes wisdom.
Yeah, because it has to be applied.
It has to be applied knowledge. You can have all the information. They have a lot of it out there. And she was talking about it. She said, she kept referring to one individual who she was communicating with. She said, knowledge, no wisdom. That's what she kept calling it, knowledge, no wisdom. Because that's what he was presenting to her. Knowledge without wisdom. And it's easy for folks to get up and spit a lot of shit. But it's a whole nother thing when they have to live that shit that they spit out. And that's where we are. We quick to want to, that's why I tell folks, be slow to speak and quick to hear. Hear with folks. When you stop and you really listen to what people are saying, you'll change your mind about the company that you keep. Because that's our biggest problem. The company we keep and the shit that we let them dash in our head. I know. I grew up in the hood. I know what it's like. I remember when I started school, my buddies was like, man, what you doing? Oh, you old schoolboy now, huh? Pulling up on me in Cadillacs and shit. Get in, man. I said, no, I'm good. Nah, man, come on, I can take you home, but you can't get in my car. Nah, I get in the car, first thing they want to do is flash. Ah, see, you should be having this. Big old Nasamur. And I always look at them like, yeah, okay. You got that. That's temporary. I know how you get it. When I'm getting, it ain't temporary. It's life-sustaining. I'm going to have it for the rest of my life, and nobody can take that away. The only one can do anything with that is me. Either use it or not. But it's mine to have, because why? I chose to get the knowledge, and through getting the knowledge, it showed me how to work it through to its wisdom. And ain't no, we have this idea, and I see it prevalent, that people, you hear people talk, oh yeah, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But when you're watching them perform, whatever duty they doing, they don't do it to the best of their ability. When you tell an individual that you're spiritual, what you're really saying is that, look, I have perfected my physical self. I can do anything with this body. Now I'm working on my energetic self. How the hell are you going to work on your energetic self if your physical self is out of whack? That's impossible. That's like trying to drive a car without a motor. You can put all the parts in the car and don't put the motor in there and sit there and say, yeah, I'm finna drive to town. You're going to drive to town, all right? In your mind, because that car is not moving.
Ain't going nowhere.
And that's what we do. We become spiritual in our mind, but in our acting out of it, far from it. And why do I say that? Because when you say that you're spirit, you know that none of the things that you call yourself possessing matter. We don't possess nothing. And real talk, we don't even possess these bodies. They belong to the earth that we own right now. Because when we leave here, we leave this with her. Unless you're going to do like I'm going to do. I'm transforming this into light. And she allows that when you know how. So I'm on that jump. I don't wish somebody would have told me to pick a grave. I remember I had a buddy, he was selling funeral stuff. It was big in the church. I was the evangelist for 12 years. And he was selling it to everybody in the church. He was like, come on, man, come on with me. I said, come on with you, where? He said, man, I want to show you what kind of work I do. I said, I don't want to know what kind of work you do, man. And me and him was cool. He was like, come on, man. You need to see this. This is good for you and your whole family. I'm like, okay. So we get down there. It's a damn funeral home. And they not only a funeral home, they had the funeral home with the whole gravesite connected to the shit. And when we get there, he say, man, you have a family now, Bowman. He said, you should go on and get everybody plus. I looked at him, I said, are you kidding? I said, didn't that scripture? I told you I was an evangelist. I said, didn't that scripture say that we should not all die, but some of us should be transformed in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye? This mortal shall put on immortality. That this finite night should put on the infinite. I said, that's where I'm going. I don't know where you're going, but I don't need that, because I'm not going there. I knew that then. I knew that from when I was young. I came here with that understanding to help other folks understand that you don't have to go that way. Not if you're going to be the best you can be. Death is only our challenger to challenge us to be the best we can be. It ain't there to do nothing to you but make you the best you can be. And if you decide that you want to challenge death, death know how to take you right on up out of here. Like that. Because death come with us when we get here. Death is right there with us. Our death live with us. It reminds you every now and then when you do something stupid. You be like, shit. And it'll flash your whole life to your ass. Be like, all right, keep on. That's your first warning. Death let you know, hey, I'm still here. And I ain't took it yet because you still listening. Because when they take your ass, you ain't listening to that voice no more. It's a whole nother voice you listening to, and that's going to be your own. And man, I always consider this. We live in these bodies, and we allow these bodies because we made them so good to make us believe that we are the body. That's some powerful shit. I mean, when I think about powerful things, I think about the energy that we carry and what we use it for. And what we use it for. The dumbest shit ever. I mean, for real. We use it to enslave each other. We use it to trick each other, to see. We use it for every evil thing that we can imagine. If that's how you think, then you got to ask yourself, how would what I'm doing benefit me? Because remember, the universe is just. It's cyclical. So what you put out there, it's got to come back. That's why I always, me and I just talking, we be like, well, yeah, we're in this space because why? We planted the seeds that needed to be planted for us to get to where we at now. What was those seeds? Your verbal expression of what's coming out of here that proceeds from here. It's all one unit. It's not separate. And when you line them up, there ain't nothing that's not available to you. Nothing. When I tell you nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. We don't believe that. But it's true. No matter what we believe, it is true. I experience it. Still experience it. Getting better at it. That's why I love talking about it. Yes, I like talking about healing and plants. I love all that. But when it comes to spirit, that is my shit. Because for me, once a person understands that part of themselves, all the rest got to line up. Your physical expression, that idea of yourself, got to fall to the wayside. That's what dying is all about. Dying to that idea of yourself. Once we die to the idea of ourselves, then we got to die to the idea of all those around us, because they're going to try to make you remember that idea that you had of yourself, because they're going to let you know. What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you talking about? Where'd you get that shit from? Oh, they're going to try to belittle you, for real. And they only do that not that they don't like you, not that they are anything other than fitting the mold that they put in. It's the Matrix, bottom line. Anybody that saw the Matrix, you know, most folks live right in that Matrix. Every day, without fail. We do everything so routinely that we think that it's us, when ain't nothing us within itself. I stated to them before some of you got here, that I quoted something to myself since I was like 18 years old. And it goes like this: I have already given my life over to the power that controls my fate. So I will cling to nothing, so I won't have nothing to defend. I will have no thoughts, therefore I will see. I will have no fear, therefore I will remember myself. At peace and in power, I will soar into infinity and victory. Bottom line, that's how I quote that, I live that, I'm doing that. That's simple. And yet, we make the simplistic difficult. Why? Because you got all this information out there. It's just floating around. I tell people we live in this ocean of thoughts, and most of us is drowning in shit. Because the thoughts that we get is such a low vibrational energy that it's just full of shit. That's why most folks full of shit. They can come up and tell me anything they want out of their mouth. I don't give a shit who it is. I'm going to watch what you do. Because what you do is going to tell me about you. Now, I see you moving in a way that is not ordinary, then I know you are different and you are living what you say. When I see you being ordinary like everybody else, your ordinary actions is displaying to me who the hell you are. And that's where we miss it. When it comes to our friends, our family, whatever, our co-workers, we have expectations of them that we don't even have for our damn self. Because if you had no expectations for yourself, you wouldn't have none for them, and they could never put you under you. Because you being who you are. And if they don't like that, the Spirit always provides something else for you to sustain yourself. If that's what you're using to sustain yourself. And that's the simplicity of it. When we decide that, hey, I'm done with this bullshit. Because it's bullshit. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's bullshit. They embedded to us for 400-500 years. That's a lot of people. For us. And it comes down to generation and generation until somebody got to break that goddamn thing. And I felt like hell. I'll be a chain breaker. I did not give a damn. People try to sway me every which way. But I decided they didn't get me here. They wasn't here with me. I've been locked in dungeons. Wasn't nobody there to say, hey man, let me help you out of this dungeon. I had to get out of that dungeon myself. Nobody was ever there to help me when I needed help. So I had to decide. I had to determine within myself that I put myself here. The only one can get myself out is me. So I quit asking anybody for any kind of damn advice. Somebody have something to input into something that I'm doing, I welcome the input. But I don't go and have to ask nobody for nothing. And none of us do. We tell ourselves that lie. But if we listen to ourselves, all the knowledge we need is right here. And like I say, we swimming in it. It's an ocean of thoughts. An ocean. Y'all look out there and see that damn ocean. You see that? And there's plenty of them. And the thoughts that's been here from the time this earth existed are still here. Why? Like I tell people, I teach those magical passes. And you stick your arms out like this. That's the scope of your energy. All the way around you. That's why when folks used to talk about, that was daddish too. You all up in my erroneous zone. What was they saying? They were saying you came up into their energy field. That's why, you have to always be mindful of the kind of people that you allow within your energetic space. Because you got two bubbles that's coming and connecting. So be wise with what you connect with. Because, hey, it's a lot, like I say, out there. But it's up to us. We got to raise our vibrational frequency. That's why I love hallucinogens. They assist in raising that vibrational frequency so that the things that you were normally seeing at the vibration you was is elevated. So then you see higher things. But before it do all that, I always tell people, a lot of people say, well, I didn't feel that well. Before it do all that for you, then it cleans you first, because we don't realize how deep the dirt goes. And peyote, San Pedro, mushrooms, ayahuasca, they're all here to what? They're plants. But they're just like I tell everybody, they're energy just like us. And they carry a certain vibration. So when you take them, they align your vibration with theirs to raise your vibration. So that what? you can now be clear, a little clearer. Because we don't realize how stuck in these bodies we are. What we on time, babe?
30 minutes.
I'm always right on.
Always in the half hour. You were giving steps though. You said
I am.
one.
I'm gonna continue.
Oh. Did you do 2 yet?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm listening.
That's my baby right there. No, real. Just like with her. The Spirit brought her to me. I was content with that. Because I know when the Spirit brings anybody to me, the Spirit is bringing them to me for me to engage. However that engagement is. However long that is. How is that determined? By the engagement that the two people have with one another. If y'all using that engagement to elevate yourself, then that engagement is going to be one that's going to be fruitful and it's going to be elevated. So, key. Learn to first realize that you're not who you think you are. That's the first step. You're not who you think you are. Once we understand we're not who we think we are, then we can quit reflecting. My sister.
Hi.
We can quit reflecting on the past, because when we reflect on the past, we bring that past right back to our present. So the ancients had a technique they call erasing personal history. Listen to what I just said. Step 2, erasing personal history. How in the hell did you do that? Think about it. When you're sitting there and you're dealing with somebody who acted a certain way, and they remind you of something from your past, you know what happens? That triggers within you chemicals that cause your emotions to react a certain way, and you deal with that person the same way you dealt with that other person. That's why you watch men and women alike. They'll be in a relationship with an individual, and then that relationship goes afar, then another relationship with another individual that's just like that other individual. Why? Because the same energy that drew that individual is the same energy that's drawing that other individual. And gonna keep on, that process keep happening throughout people's lives. And they don't realize what's causing it. They think it's something outside of you. Hear folks say, I just have bad luck with men. I just have bad luck with women. What? That is the dumbest thing you can say. I mean, because in reality, if you're seeking after being the best you can be, the Spirit don't have no other choice than to send you someone who's being the best them they can be, so that y'all can join forces and be the best being that both of y'all could be. Because when two people come together, you create a whole nother entity. And if y'all always clashing, you know what kind of entity is made. Something dark and ugly and unfulfilling. But when two people come together and they bring energy together and they create a being of power and of light, that's exactly what's created. And that force can be used to help numerous people. But, that's what we have to get to. Because, like I said, we've been using the same steps to get nowhere. So, I'm giving y'all steps to how to start to get there. Recognize where you at within yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Just be dead honest with yourself. And listen to what people say. Because a lot of things that people say, not always exactly what's going on, because they're only looking from the outside, but when they say it, you know exactly what's going on inside. That's making them say what they're saying. So, be quick to hear. Like I say, erase your personal history. Quit rehearsing that to everybody. For real, we rehearse it on a daily basis, because we'll call up and be like, yeah, today we heard Asami talk down there. Thing, it was a good talk and I enjoyed it. And the person who telling telling that shit that don't have a clue as to what was going on, but you have to rehearse your history. Because everything we tell them is about our history, not about what we're doing right then. Because we talk about what we're doing right then, we like, I'm on the phone with you, so what's going on? What do you want? What are we discussing? What's happening? Why are we doing this? But we get used to it. We expect it. We do. I know my mama expected. If I don't call, I done went months without calling my mother. People like, man, you don't call your mama, at least your mama's still alive. She got a life. I would be expecting her to live it, not to be worried about mine. I don't worry about nobody's life. I'm gonna tell you straight. My kids, I don't worry about their life. They know that I'm here. If they need help, they can come. But I don't worry about their life. Because I'm still perfecting mine. I don't have time to be worried about nobody else's shit. I do not have the energy to worry about nobody else's shit. That's why I always tell her the only person outside of myself that I put any other energy into is her. Because why? She's right here with me. How can I not? She's part of me. But outside of that, I don't put energy out there like that. It's a waste. I don't have energy to waste. I have a mission I'm trying to accomplish. And when we understand that, then we'll be about that. Our energy will go towards that. Our conversations go towards that. Our actions go towards that. The totality of who we are go towards that. I'm not saying you're not going to have disruptions. People going to come to disrupt you. If you're in a relationship, come on now. I tell folks all the time, we live in these physical bodies, but there's a whole energetic world out there, a whole energetic universe that's way more encompassing than this. And there's beings that just live there. They ain't never manifested here. And not in a physical body, but they've been in that energetic world. I don't know how long, but they're there. And that's something we have to deal with too. Why? Because how do they affect us? Through here. A lot of the thoughts that we think that we get ain't even our thoughts. They come from outside of us. And we get the thought and we go, yeah. And accept that shit. Don't accept that shit. It's not you. Remember what I said? I will have no thoughts, therefore I will see. When you have no thoughts, you can see the thoughts that come in. And you can know, that can come from. No. You can reject it immediately. And when you think that all that shit rolling around in your head is you, you in for a hell of a ride. I'm going to tell you, roller coaster ain't shit. Because you going to be riding on a hellish coaster. That's all the physical body has. It only have the expression of the natural world. The physical senses. It's bound to it. We're not bound to it. Only when you bound to your body, when you don't understand, when you haven't fully accepted that this body is not me, you're gonna be in the battle. And even when you decide, you're still gonna be in the battle. Why? Because that residue don't just go away. I mean, some folks live their life like I'm gonna put it like this. Most folks, they get to 30 years old, and that's the crux. That's the separation in the road. Why? Because for the first 29 years of your life, Saturn, that body, that planet up there, exerts energy on this earth that causes you to have to learn hot, cold, up, down, right, left, all that part of Saturn. Saturn influences the natural world. It controls not just us, them plants, them damn animals, them lizards, all of it is under that shit. So, when you get to that point where that fork comes in, and hopefully it's before you cross that threshold, and you got, wiggle room, you make the decision to go within yourself and not look for external things to bring you satisfaction. That's where everybody misses it, because in them pinnacle years, It's when you're doing the most. And it'll fly by you in a moment. And all you is left with is the routine that you've been doing. Why? Because when the time came to make that shift, you was too busy. Too busy? That is insane. Too busy for your own self. Because the Spirit addresses everybody. Different ways because we are different. But it addresses everybody. Nobody escapes that. Then the universe would be unjust. So, what I'm telling everybody is make the right decision. It's only a decision. Like every decision you make in your life. So make the one that's going to most benefit your life. And when you make the decision that most benefits your life, surprisingly enough, it benefits everybody else's life around you. Why? Because your choices become beneficial to you, so they're going to be beneficial to those around you. You'll always have something how can I put it? Something of substance to share with somebody else to help elevate their life. You'll never be lost for conversation, not when you're walking in the Spirit, because the Spirit always got something to say. Always. You just got to hear. And when you start having conversations with individuals on that level, you feel that high that conversation brings. Why? Because you're speaking on a higher frequency. When we talk about these things all the time, and we get in them conversations, man, hour and a half, 2 hours go by. We don't even be recognizing time because why? You engaging in something that's raising your vibrational frequency where time don't even matter no more. Time matter when we are caught up in identifying where we at what moment. Does that really matter? It don't. That's why I really don't like Instagram. I'm on that thing right now. They are blessed.
We love you, Instagram.
So,
hey, the people I do, but the platforms, man, the madness that I see, it's like out of all that madness, all right, I have that one little spot where I'm trying to share whatever, but the madness is by far the overwhelming drive of that. I mean, even when it comes to, we just was at the Pan-African Film Festival. Oh my goodness. I ain't gonna mention the movie name. It was as empty as empty can be. I was like, and then the guy got up and was arrogant, like, yes, I did that.
Yes.
And then she said, hey, did you see his self-importance was, off the chain. He sat back in his little director's seat like, yeah, this is my creation. And I'm sitting there going, I would be ashamed. I'd have been like, hey, let me get out of here. Cut the lights down. I'm going out the back way. I don't even want to know because they had, like Q&A afterwards.
Right.
I would have got out of there. From the start to the finish, it was garbage.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what the hell is this?
It actually showed his mindset because he shot it and the camera stayed on the young girls behind the whole
time.
thing.
Like the cameraman was a pervert. He was just on
It
her
really
ass.
was.
Every time she got up, she had on some short shorts, and the cameraman was like, I was like, this is an ass show. You go to strip club and see ass, you want to see ass that much in person. You ain't got to be all like on the camera. I'm like, man, did you? He must not have. Well, if he edited it, I don't even want to know what was there before he edited it.
I blame the people around them, too, because
everybody
was like, this is great.
Yeah, I'm like, great. We was like, no comment. They gave us comment cards. I stuffed it in my pocket. I was like, I'm not going to. I'd rather not say anything. Hey, like the old folks say, if you don't have something good to say, don't say nothing. I choose to say nothing.
This is true.
But that's the kind of stuff that, they're putting out there for youngsters to consume. And all it's doing is feeding into that same notion all the time. That notion that we have these unsatiable needs and all this stupidness and drama, and I mean, that is insane, man. We're not about that as a people. Never been. We the same people that built those pyramids. We're the same people that my dad came over here. That's why he built this. He wanted to build something that can reflect us in a higher vibrational level. That's why I tell folks, when you come here, you made a good choice. It ain't no small thing to be here. It was a lot of energy went into creating the energy that's here. A lot of folks died behind creating the energy that's here.
So I had a question.
Shoot.
Going back to the second attention in terms of erasing personal history or past history.
Mm-hmm.
And so are you saying to erase past history is to not reflect? Is that what you're saying?
Well, reflect is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Personal history is something, what did I say? I said something that we would repeat on a daily basis. We have to be mindful that, like, people have conversations for nothing. It don't have nothing to do with nothing. You could be gone, like when you get back to the States, they're going to be like, so tell me what happened, how was it? And they want you to rehearse all of what you've experienced. When you be, and it's simple to just say, hey, why don't you go experience for yourself? Because you're not going to have the same experience I had. I'm just going to say it was a nice one.
This is true.
But that's what I'm talking about. They want you to rehearse your history. And in doing that, they make you always reel backwards to come forward. Mm-hmm. And the more you do that, the more you do it. That's why you sit around the table with a bunch of your buddies and you see, oh man, you remember when you remember when we was over there, man? I remember when we was over there doing da-da-da-da-da. And they get excited about it.
Right.
That's like, nigga, what you excited about now?
Because that was then.
That was then. When a lot of people live their life, what was then. Mm-hmm. Not what's now. Because if you're living for your life and what's now, man, you got to be powerful because we're living in a powerful time. We're living in a time of the outpouring of knowledge on this earth. That's what the age of Aquarius represents. We are in that age. That's why information is so readily. That's why all the lies are seeping to the damn surface so everybody can see the lie. So it's no excuse. But what are they doing? What they're doing is they're putting blinders on everybody by feeding them bullshit constantly so they don't see the change. Yet they know it's a change. They felt the shit. And they want to make sure that the public don't respond to it. That's why COVID was so important to them. Mm-hmm. They locked down the whole world, mm-hmm. If you hear me. Mm-hmm. And not in my entire existence on this planet, and I've been here for 63 years, that I could ever remember the whole planet being locked down. Everybody, every corner. Unless you was in some jungle bush somewhere where you didn't give a shit about what was going on out there, you was affected. And if you was living in the village and had to go to town to do business, you was affected. So, that was an acid test for real. Let's just see, can we get everybody in line right quick? Mm-hmm. And they did it. Mm-hmm. In less than a month.
Yep.
Had the whole world on lockdown. They did a lot for the earth, though. Maybe she wanted it that way. It stopped a whole lot of pollution. Folks were seeing mountains they didn't even know existed. That was there all the time.
This is true.
Because of our ignorance. Why? We let what the ancients, what the natives call little brother, control everything. And little brother is stupid as hell. And it's obvious because look at where we all come from. It's polluted. It's disgusting. And it breeds violence. What's good about that? What's good about that? It's not breeding beauty. I mean, you have little pockets of artistic burst where you have people that come together and be like, hey man, we artistic, let's all live in this building. You have little sections like that because if without that, man, it would be just totally a corrupt place to live because for the most part, people are debased and becoming more debased. Why? Because that's what they pushing. It's being shoved down people's throat, and for the most part, people give in. That's what that shutdown was all about. We can shut them all down. We can control them all. And we let it happen. I mean, if humanity really knew what they was doing, everybody would say, if I had to die of COVID, I'm just going to die. The hell with y'all. They didn't. Everybody operating in fear. And see, I was still traveling. I was still taking my walk, still doing, and it was deserted. It was like I was walking in a deserted town. I was like, it looked like it reminds you of what a ghost town would be. Mm-hmm. Nobody outside. I was like, this is amazing. It was quite, you could hear the birds. Yeah. It was like a whole nother world.
Yeah. Flying definitely was a whole nother world.
I said, I'm glad they're inside.
There was no traffic.
Man, I got to a busy street. It was not a car going up and down there. I was like, I was skipping the car this day. I'm like, this is cool, man. I ain't gonna be waiting for cars.
Flights used to have like 3 or 4 people.
I was one of 4.
Yeah, so I would look around and be like, oh, it should always be like this.
That's what I felt like. I felt like I was on a private jet.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we got the whole damn jet to ourselves.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
All the sheep were inside.
Yeah. And it was, but again,
fine with me.
One act, one statement. How did that progress? All they did was put it on all the news channels. Boom. And everybody looking at the news. So what they do? They hear the news and they follow it and they repeat it. Mm-hmm. COVID is killing folks. COVID. We did that. Our goddamn. They didn't do it. We did it. We made COVID a reality. That's how powerful we are. We could have made it an unreality too, but we didn't know we had that power because they used their power to manipulate us into believing that was the power that they was given. I'm gonna tell everybody this. Understand when I say that. We live in a white boy's dream. When you live in the States, that's his dream. When you go to Europe, that's his dream. You see what their dream is about? Here you got Russians, they white. And then you got all the other white folks wanting to attack them because they don't want to participate in the dream that they want here in the West. And it's both their dream, but they battling over their own dream. And we ain't got shit to do with that. We don't have atomic bombs. We don't have nuclear warheads. We don't have none of that shit. But this is their dream. What is their dream? Violence. And we don't understand that their dream is ain't nothing but about violence and reckless bodily actions. Then we don't know nothing about them. And we've been living under them for 300 years, and then we don't know nothing about them by now. You ain't never gonna know shit about them. But they don't never change.
What is it? Toxic air. That's their dream.
They never gonna change. The ones who have to change is us. And our idea of ourselves and how we address these things ain't the way that we've been addressing them because they ain't changed shit. When I was youngster, I remember brothers getting shot down in the street. It's still going on. All the marching, all the organizations, all of that ain't changed nothing. Why? Because we haven't changed our method. We want to go in church and pray and shit. That ain't changed shit. We've been praying our tongues out. What have it made? What have it manifested? Not a damn thing. But when we, as a group of people, understand that it's about the energy that we have inside and maintaining and growing that energy inside, and all of us understand that, we won't need nothing to change this but our intent, our thought. That's how powerful we are. And we relegated ourselves to something that is, I don't even recognize. That's why I don't mess with most people. I don't recognize when they come up to me and they got the same hue of skin that I have, and I see how they act, and I go, yeah, you don't know where you are, where you come from, what that represent? It represents power. It represents balance. It represents love. We represent that. That's what we are. We are because we don't believe we are. We believe we are these physical bodies. And with that, I'm going to open it up for questions. Anybody got any questions? Shoot through.
Yeah, I do. So 1 was recognized, 2 was erase personal
You
history.
didn't get no 3.
3 wasn't make right decisions. That wasn't 1. Okay.
That's all encompasses them too.
Okay. All right. All right. 1, 2, y'all.
That was a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I look, like I told her, she always asks me, what are you going to speak on? I said, I'm going to speak on my favorite subject, and that's spirit, because to me, that's what I'm all about. This physical body is just what I express on that, and this is malleable. It's not just like this. It can change. Yeah.
So, what does a typical day look like for you to be more in tune with your spirit?
I can rehearse my whole day to you right now. I got up this morning. I made coffee. We had a shot of bitters. We didn't take our green food. And then I had to go to town. I went to town, took care of what I needed to do. Got back, because me and her, we getting ready to do our bar. We getting ready to epoxy our bar. It's going to be beautiful when we're done with that. We do a lot of projects like that together. The key to tapping into your energetic force is tapping into your creativity. Always look within yourself to find something to bring from the inside out. Why? Because everything starts from the nothing space that's inside of us. And in that nothing space, we create something in our mind, and then we manifest it on this earth. That's why creativity is so important, that you have something that you imagine, and you go, I'm gonna make that. And then when you make it, you go, voila, I manifested it here on this physical plane. The thought is manifested. When we continue to do that, it becomes easy for us to change our whole environment through that very act. Got it?
I know I asked this last time too, but can you show us another energy and
I ain't showing you no more magical pass. If you bring your buddy in April, and you can get all the whole class. You think he gonna just record all the magic passes? Say, I got it all. You think you slick, Kush? I feel you though. Hey,
It's hundreds
I'll
of
be
them. So.
trying too, but it's a lot of those passes, bro. A lot.
How long is the class gonna be?
Well, I'm gonna be holding them here in April, and they're gonna be. I'm gonna take them through every day that they're here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be showing them different movements. Like I say, the movements are. I'll show you one.
Thank you.
And now this one, you have to do it like. Start off with 25 repetitions. And then from 25, go ahead.
Before we start, can you give me a little background on the passage thing? Because I'm not familiar with what he asked.
What a magical passage.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
It was some ancient passages I learned from them. This place was inhabited by Toltec Mayans. And they high priesthood, they learned these movements of the body while they was high off mushrooms. They saw the body doing these certain movements, and what they termed them was magical passes.
Okay.
And what these movements did was bring energy back into your energetic space.
Got it.
So this one is moving energy, and it's a leg exercise. I'm gonna show you. It goes like this. Remember what I said? Always start where? In your center. Where your center at? Right here, your shoulder blades and your feet are in the same general position. So then you're going like this. You're sticking this leg out and reaching with your toe and pushing energy back. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4 until you do 25. And then you're going to go on this leg and do the same thing. You're going to do 25. 1, 2. Now look, I'm reaching now. That means you got to pick your knee up and push. Pick your knee up and push. And you're starting with 25, but every week that you do them, add 5 more until you get to 100. And then the other one, since I'm showing you the leg exercise, is like this. You're taking energy and bringing it from this side of your body and pushing it around. So you're going 1, 2, and you're doing that on the other side. So then you're moving energy from the lower parts of your body, you're moving it around because your energy is, like I said, it's all that. So you stirring that energy up down there to be used in all the parts of your body. All right, next time, just have my check ready. Hey, y'all, it was fun. I enjoyed y'all.
I did have one
Oh,
question.
come on.
Because I know you talked about the first, I think, intention of being physical, the second piece being dream work.
All right, and the
So
third
how-
attention is that part of us that we call our God self.
Okay.
We are just observers there. That's the part of us that helps us to understand that we are connected to everything, the all in all that they call God. That's our third attention. And we're able to get through that by using our second attention. Because our first attention ain't never going to get us there.
So how do we use our second intention? Like, what are some things I can do?
And you what sign are you?
Gemini.
You and I. With Gemini, I'm a Libra. She's a Libra too. And Aquarius, like I told you, we living in the age of Aquarius. So you have a slight, you can say, advantage because you are air. So you can relate to the air. And in relating to that air, just allow the movement that you feel, the energy around you, to guide you. Let that be your guide, because it'll guide you. Because it's you. Everything is us. As long as we understand, we start from the place of knowing that everything that we see is what we projected out there. Just like we all sitting in this palapa right now, as they call it. Home, we would have called it a gazebo.
Gazebo, yeah.
But it's because of our intention and our own intent that brought us together. You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be sitting in this chair talking to y'all. Like I say, I got a whole lot of things to do, but I take time out to come over here because my sister asked me to. And I feel like it's appropriate because that gives y'all something extra to think about and to do while you're here. Something you can work on while you're here. Because this space is quiet. And, another thing, because you're dreaming. Mushrooms help you with your second attention because they help put you in a high energetic state. So, when you're in that state, try to put as much as not just the things you're feeling right at that moment, but your attention, just your observation into it. Because Geminis, you guys, that's y'all shit, The two faces. One face is the known, gathers energy. One face is the unknown and gathers energy. And Gemini's job is to gather energy from both sides. And then once the Gemini gathers that energy, then it's handed off to the Libra. The Libra takes it and balances that energy. Dumps out what's not necessary, hands it to the Aquarian. Once the Aquarian get it, it's just poured out onto the world. And that's what's going on right now. So we're in our cycle.
Can we do a little rundown of other zodiacs?
I'm
I'm going to give you mine, Scorpio.
All right, so you're a water sign. That's what,
Fire.
Oh, it is water.
That's
I
water.
messed that up. That's not fire, right?
That's not-
that's
water.
water.
Oh.
Yeah, water signs. They the true dreamers. With you, you have a higher facilitation to touch your energy body to the dreaming, but hers is through actions. So your dreaming attention is powerful.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
You
Hey,
said
y'all.
it's true.
That's true.
It's been a
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Wait.
Wait, let me do it. You already did it?
No, I didn't end it yet. He said wait.
So the first 4 minutes is not because I thought I hit record. and did it.
Yeah, no, I wanna. I don't know.
I know
how to-
Ray got it all from the
Oh, yeah, Ray, you sent it to me.
I don't know.
No, to this X maybe. Or you sure you want to do that?